Welcome back, everybody, to the Mexico City Aztecs 2K25 franchise here in MyNBA. I know it's been a while. I apologize. Things are busy for me, but we are finally back to get round 2 underway here in this Year 9 playoff run. We took down Utah in the first round in 6 games, and we entered now to face the 3-seed Portland Trailblazers, led by Scoot Henderson and Leonard Dennis, who is the twin brother of our starting point guard, David Dennis. Both guys are like around 85, 86 overall. But we do come in with one of our star talents in John Cobb, partially sidelined with a strained left hip, which should probably affect him for the rest of the playoffs. And he's going to be coming off our bench like he was to close that series against Utah. He played very well despite the injury and despite coming off our bench. But I think given all these ratings going down, and especially his athleticism being greatly affected by the injury, I think it's smart to kind of slowly bring him back into our lineup in those big minutes. So until he comes back to full health, if he does get back to full health, we're going to be having Maurice Mullins start at shooting guard as he was in those last couple of games against Utah. And Kylan Moore get 40 minutes now entering round 2. So a much bigger role for him. Can he step in, and can we take down Portland here in round 2? They come in fully healthy. We, of course, as we just talked about, are not. If we look at the team comparison here, there are no weaknesses for either team. The matchup report does point our way. They do say that we are the spread consensus pick, but they're going to be a tough team, I think, for us to take down, especially if they play as they did back in round 1. They took down OKC in 5 games and put up the most points per game in the playoffs entering the second round. So a really tough offense to slow down. And with John Cobb being partially hurt and a worse defender in there in place of him, will that be a bad matchup for us? Let's go find out. Round 2, game 1 coming up next. With an A+ home court advantage, the Aztecs win the tip here to open game 1 of round 2. A quick pass up ahead, and Kylan Moore gets the scoring started. He's going to have a lot on his shoulders here in this series, and probably the rest of our playoff run, unless Cobb comes back from the injury early on. And last time we saw this matchup against Aiden played very well on the offensive end, so that's going to have to change here if we're going to come out of this series with less than 6 games played, no doubt about that. But also, can John Cobb come off the bench and play his role well in those 25 minutes or so of action? And can Mullins step in to be that go-to offensive shooter? That's going to be a big weight on his shoulders too. So a lot of guys have bigger roles to play and different roles to play compared to previous seasons and previous playoff series. Here's a couple of free throws to answer back for Mullen. That was a foul on Leonard Dennis, his first, and the first on Portland. And Mullen able to knock down both. Off-ball screens, and it's a bad one set by Henderson, which will turn the ball over. Mullen has his pocket pick now. Leonard Dennis. I'm going to get their names confused. No doubt about that. They do look alike and have the same last name, obviously. But Dennis picks up the steal off of Mullen. Portland. Wow, what a spin move, but Henderson can't finish at the hoop. The acrobatics don't lead to a bucket, and we almost turn the ball over. Dennis back out. Mullen, the triple. He's got 5 early points here in this one. He's had a couple of games where he has shot the ball very well and a couple where he has not shot well. So he needs to really find his game early on to get off to a hot start, which he has at least so far. Now here's Moses Moody off the screen, picked up by Dylan Young. And a nice finish at the 10. Good cut, nobody home, and David Dennis rocks the rim. Offense looking good so far. Screen top of the key, pick and roll. Aiden can't finish at the rim, but got his own miss back. And it's kept alive on the offensive end, but we get it back off a steal from Dennis. Outlet pass to Dylan Young up ahead. Air Mexico. Can't forget about this guy. He's going to be a fast break fiend and a huge lob threat for these Aztecs. 11-4, Portland calling their first timeouts. Leonard Dennis striving right past Mullen for the buckets. That's going to be one thing for us to keep an eye on is Mullen's defense. We just know that he's not going to be a reliable defender out there. But if he can bring the offense like he has so far, then we don't really have to worry a whole lot. He's got seven of our points, outscoring Portland by himself. Catch and shoot now. It's Corey Jack from downtown. He played very well last time we saw this team. Off the dribble now. Kylan Moore working against DeAndre Ayton. Back out to Mullen. Shot clock hits 5. Mullen, couple of crossover moves. Has to shoot, and it just comes off the front of the rim. Screen coming up. Moses Moody now on the switch against Kylan Moore. Leaves it for Leonard Dennis. On the baseline. Mullen. Good defense that time, but he got the rebound too. Fast break, pull up, and Kylan Moore connects. Good penetration, and a foul is drawn by Henderson. It's the first on David Dennis, the second on these Aztecs. For 24 points per game here in the regular season for Scoot Henderson. I think he's been even better here in the postseason with their offense being as good as they are. Downhill, Dylan Young, blocked by Moody, but Young got it back. Shot clock does not reset. Dennis, out of a shot to Sundin, gotta find something. Mullen has to shoot again, and this time he drills it. And another bad screen, this time from Aiden, will turn the ball over. That's their second already in the first 6 minutes. The first guy off our bench is Jalen Williams, now out there with the other 4 starters as David Dennis rises and throws it down off the alley-oop from Kylan Moore. I got the crowd on their feet. And right now, the offense is looking very high-powered. I'm loving this start. Moody, catch and shoot 3, won't go. G-Dub there on the glass. Screen comes over now. Mullen driving and denied at the rim by Leonard Dennis. On the other end, it's Scoot Henderson slicing his way inside for the deuce. Kylan Moore the screen. Mullen finds some space. That shot's offline. Colby Jack the rebounds. Now a screen for Moody. His jumper's offline again. He's off to a cold start. Good cross-court pass, but a turnover from Dylan Young gives it right back to Portland. That's going to be Dennis's second steal, and it leads to an and one for Colby Jack. Free throw can cut it to a 3-point game as John Cobb is now on the floor. So is Jalen Hood-Schifino. Inside and stolen again, trying to find more, and Cobb turns it over on his first touch of the series. Not what you want to see from your veteran star. Can Portland capitalize though? Dennis blocked out of bounds by Mullen. A rare sight out of him. Now checking in for Portland is Bronny James Jr. for the first time as Aiden with a tough finish. That was a tight window pass there from Moody that got through. And now it's a 19-18 ball game. Portland a little bit of a run here. Can J-Dub and Cobb help us out here and get the offense going again? The step back is rejected by Moody. And so good defense by the Trailblazers these last couple of trips has held us to 0 points the last 2.5 minutes of game time. Ochefino on the other end draws the foul on Bronny after forcing a turnover. So free throws can break our little cold spell here. The first one is up and good. Or still out there. He'll play all but 8 minutes of this game. He'll be out there for, I believe, the entire first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Screen set for Bronny. He gets downhill, but leaves it for Leonard Dennis, who goes after Cobb, but can't finish. Just dancing off the rim. Dennis now 1 for 4 as Ochefino bricks the triple. Young, the second chance three won't go, and Klingon tips it out to Devin Carter for the rebounds. Over the top, right to Klingon. Great pass from Bronny, and it's back to 1. Cobb steps back, fading away, can't get it to drop, but Kylan Moore keeps it alive. Cobb drawing a pretty awkward foul there. That's number 2 on Leonard Dennis. Now free throws to get John Cobb on the board. The first one is up and in. Again, the left hip strain is causing the speed and agility to be knocked down quite a few pegs, so he's going to be hindered by that for quite some time. Screen comes up. Young picks up Bronny. So far, nothing doing for Portland on this possession. Henderson blocked on that reverse layup attempt. Kylan Moore there waiting for him. Now up ahead, he fires, but it just rattles out. Right to the rack and in. The foul is called on Jalen Ochefino. And Bronny can tie this game up at 23 points apiece. A big play here in this first quarter to get this game nearly back to even, but Bronny can't complete the play, and the Aztecs stay in front. Inside, Moore readjusting off the glass and in. Downhill, Bronny penetrates. Good kick out to Cooper, but he can't connect. And J-Dub is there for the rebound again. 11 boards for us, 7 for Portland. They're going to win that battle, hopefully. That'll be a big reason why we win if we do come out on top. But right now, the threes aren't really falling for either team. Up ahead now to Cooper. Bounce pass to Henderson. Left it short. 2 defenders there to contest the shot. Now to Dylan Young into a mid-ranger, which will eventually bounce in. Bronny finds some room now and pulls the trigger, but that one's no good. But Kylan Moore coughs it up. Cooper misses the lay-in. Great job, great effort by Ochefino there on defense to at least put a hand up there. Can't believe Cooper missed that, though. Cobb offline. 5-point lead for the Aztecs. 3-second differential here on the shot clock, as this time Cooper will complete the layup. Final play of the first quarter here. Dumped inside. Moore spins. Misses the shot. Bronny will not fire in time from beyond half court, and the Aztecs lead through one, 27-24. Start of the second quarter. Bronny out of a shot, nearly turns it over, but it's kept alive on a heads-up play. Carter fires off the screen and absolutely drills it. And we're tied at 27. Up ahead, and a missed layup at the rim for Aaron Mobley, making his first appearance here in round 2. Screen from Klingon. Henderson has been held in check so far. Hands it off. Bronny stripped on the shot by Mullen. Couple of nice defensive plays by him so far tonight. Very impressed by that. Oh, that's a good look for Cobb. And he absolutely drains it. Up ahead, Carter, the pump fake, got Cobb in the air, and that was all that he needed to do. And it's good. It's back to 1. Downhill, Cobb in traffic. Another foul drawn. That's going to be part of his game that he relies on here with that injury. His free throws are obviously a staple of how he scores the basketball. First of which is up and good. And the back end will give us a 3-point lead. Downhill, pull up, and good. Bronny, a nice shot. Mullen, split defenders. Mobley lays out for it, but can't get a clean hand on it. And we turn the ball over. Henderson at the rim, can't finish. Good paint defense by Dennis that time to contest the lay-in. And right now, they just cannot break through. They cannot jump in front. But they're close. Mullen's open for a 3. Gotta hit that one next time. Bronny crosses the court, fires the catch and shoot 3, but it's too strong. And Mobley pulls it down. Would love to see J-Dub get involved here offensively, but he has not shot the ball very well at all so far in this postseason. So somebody else has to do the dirty work for him. John Cobb, his first field goal. Or I guess so his second. He had a 3 earlier, but a nice land regardless. And they're going to call timeout. So out of their timeout, Portland goes to Henderson. But his 3's offline. Carter, though, keeps it alive. Bronny behind the line. No dice. Neither team really finding their stroke from downtown quite yet. Dennis fires on the move and gets a shooter's roll. Off the screen, Carter with space now. Hits the front iron, no good. Mobley the rebounds. Kyle and Moore. Out to Dennis, who's mismatched on Aiden. Back out to Mobley. Now Dennis gets it back from Moore and drills it from the corner. There we go. Carter tries again. That one's gonna roll around and in this time. Good response from the Portland offense. Little pick and roll here. Mobley missed at the rim, and I'm just shocked by his bad offensive play so far because his first impression of us, or to us really, was that he could not miss at the rim, even if it was very contested. But a good play there to swat the ball away. Now a good pump fake, but he's not going to fire. Out to Dennis instead for a 3 again. David Dennis catching fire. Henderson out of a shot, finds Aiden all alone inside, right at the rim. Mismatch for Moore now. He fades and absolutely buries it. And our lead stays at 8 points. Henderson fires the triple off the back iron, but a loose ball foul now on Aiden. That's going to be his second. Downhill, and Dennis lost it, but got it back. J-Dub now, the ball handler, has room to fire, but can't connect. Time winding down. Moody fouled inside. by Williams. Free throws now for Moody, 82% at the line this past season. Over 13 points per game. And he goes 1 for 2 here. We'll take it. A good foul it ends up being. Now Hutchefino inside. Throws it up off the glass. Too strong. On the other end, Colby Jack gets behind Sundin. And a good pass by Dennis finds him for 2. Williams scores and draws the foul. Moody picks up his first. Finally, some offensive action for J-Dub. Might be his first points, I believe, in this game. We'll take it. Leonard Dennis has it stripped and stolen by Dylan Young. Fast break. J-Dub crosses over. Short range jumper, missed it. And we get it right back though. Sundin gets it from Colby Jack. And Kylan Moore draws the foul. 2 on Bronny, 3 now in the quarter on Portland. Kylan Moore has the most rebounds per game in the playoffs so far at over 13. Nobody else has more than like 11.8, so he's been easily the best rebounder of any playoff team left. The free throws are both good. And now a bad pass still ends up with Portland. Could have been an easy steal. The 3 from Jack won't go, and Hutchefino's there on the rebound. Lobbing it up, that's a bad idea. Hutchefino turns it over. Not on the same page was Dylan Young, but that was going to be a really tough finish regardless of if there were guys there or not on defense. Bronny, contested, no. Up ahead, Hutchefino, tough lane. Our lead extends to 12. Catch and shoots. Better look this time for Colby Jack, and he absolutely nails it. Young out to Williams. Wide open, no, but Moore's right there on the offensive glass. Shot clock under 5 now for Portland. Bronny just jacks one up from way downtown. That is a low percentage look right there. We'll take that every time. 11-point lead here for Mexico City, trying to close the half extremely strong and build on this lead even further. Hutchefino's 3 rattles out, but another offensive putback for the Blueprint. He's got 14 points on 75% shooting. Out to Bronny, has a lane, passes back out and turns it over. Jack couldn't hang on. Sundin, the fast break layup, and our lead is up to 15 points already. Back out, Aiden, the mid-range jump shot, got that one to go. And right after a timeout, we turn the ball over. Mullen lost it. Out of bounds off him. Carter out of a shot finds Dennis wide open, but he missed it. Open looks not really falling a whole lot right now for them. J-Dub at the rim. You got to make that, though. That's right there. You got a guy on your hip. Good look at the rim. Corey Jack. I was calling him Colby Jack earlier, but that's like a cheese. That is not his name. It's Corey Jack. I'm sorry. Nice pass by Cobb. This time Hutchefino will put it in the hoop. Aiden the screen. Carter the shots. No good. And we can save for the final shot of the first half. We have a good look right here. No wait time needed. Kylan Moore has had an awesome first half on both ends. And offense right now has come at a premium for the Trailblazers, but The announcer jinx in full display right there as Cobb lofts it from beyond half courts. And we head to halftime leading by 13 points, 61-48. Looking good. Second half underway. Portland has trailed pretty much the entire game. They have had chance after chance to jump in front, but have yet to really take advantage of their offense. Has kind of gone cold the last several minutes to close the first half. Moody blocked by Kylan Moore. What a start for our defense here in this third quarter. Now, can the offense match them on this possession and get us off to a hot start? Kylan Moore wants the ball against Corey Jack, but misses the fadeaway jump shots. Henderson with room to fire. Can't knock it down. He's been off his game so far. Very inconsistent shooting by him. Screen comes up. Dennis, the ball handler, shuffles it to Kylan Moore for two more. 18 points, 8 for 11, a plus 15, plus minus. We lead by as much. He's been awesome. Now Corey Jack's wide open. He can hit those, but right now he's missed a couple. He's 5 for 7 overall, but his two misses have been threes. David Dennis, the and one at the rim. Henderson called for the foul. The free throw gives us an 18-point lead. Top of the key now, Leonard Dennis rattles home a trifecta. Off the dribble, Kylan Moore fouled on his way up. 3 now on Aiden. And Moore was definitely going up for a dunk there. He was about to rise high and throw it down. That would have taken the roof off this place. The free throws are both good though. 68-51. Can their offense keep up, and can their defense slow us down? That's going to be their key to getting back in this game, is shooting well and playing good defense, but right now we're doing both of those. Eyeball screen, clock under 5. Mullen into Moore. Missed the layup, got it back. Might try this exact same play again. We do, and this time it works. Good cut by Leonard Dennis. Mullen, a good contest, but a better finish by the opposition. Good pass, wide open shot. Dylan Young cashes in from the corner. And we have our largest lead of the entire game now at 20 points, so we are close to probably moving on to the next couple games here in this round 2 series, because we're in full control right now. Corey Jack from downtown can't respond. If we go up right here by more than 20, we're going to start to jump ahead and move on. Dennis can't cash in this time. Good look, though. Henderson lobs it up over Sundin. Good pass. Left for Mullen now. Couple of moves and draws the foul. Number 3 now on Dennis. He's got 3. He wants to look at this one, a coach's challenge, but it's not going to come in. So he's got 3. Aiden's got 3. Mullen has been quiet since that little 7-point spurt in the first quarter. At the line here, he only goes 1 for 2. Henderson penetrates. Dennis stays in front though, forces the pass out. Now here's Leonard Dennis with it. Way downtown, offline. On the other end, Moore below the rim, working around Aiden through the contacts. 24 now for Kylan Moore, and that's going to be our cue to sim ahead and move on to game 2 and beyond, because we have this game in the palm of our hands. Nice shot, though, by Corey Jack. Quick pass up ahead, deflected. Sundin gets it back and scores. Now it's time for us to jump out of here, leading 78-58. Gonna sim our way to the end of this one here. We increase our lead up to around 30 points by the end of Q3. And Portland just never got their offense going. And we are going to walk out of here with a dominant Game 1 victory, hopefully a tone-setting win for the rest of round 2. 128-98 here on our home court, and did not really have to ask a whole lot of John Kopp in this game, so kind of a nice little off day for him because the rest of this team picked up what he couldn't do. Mullen gave us an early spark. Kylan Moore was great throughout. Dennis had a couple of big shots, and we lead over Portland 1-0 to open the quarterfinals. How about 37-20 from Kylan Moore here in this game? I mean, that's one of his best games of the playoffs, of any playoff run so far. He's got 4 blocks as well, so he was a playmaker on both ends. Maurice Mullen, 23 points, 15 for Dennis and for Cobb. Cobb, though, shot relatively poorly. Young with 12, double figures for J-Dub. And we come out of here with a dominant win. Great defense throughout. Corey Jack and Carter, their top 2 scores with 18 points apiece. But we held Scoot to 2 for 12. Moody, 3 for 14. And apparently asked for much better defense than we saw right here. We held the best scoring offense in the playoffs to less than 100 points in this first game. Can we keep it up, though, the rest of the way? They never led, by the way. I was right. They never had a lead. That's awesome. Simcasting Game 2 now. We get off to another hot start, outscoring them 43-29 in the first quarter. Now back and forth here in the second as Portland tries to work their way back in this game, but it's another dominant first half for the Aztecs. Third quarter, more back and forth scoring, but they're going to have to go on a run in the fourth quarter if they want any chance to win this game. And it's looking like they're going to run out of time here. The Aztecs win 135-120 to build on that series lead. And now it's 2-0 coming off 2 straight home wins. 35 here in this one for Mullen. 33 and 12 for Kylan Moore. 19 for Cobb off the bench. Shot well here in this game. Had 3 steals. 3 as well for Jalen Williams. Nobody shot, bad here in this game. Dennis, 12 for 12 on free throws. Moore, 11 for 12. Mullen, 12 for 12. 27 for Aiden here. Good game for him. 23 for Carter. He's been good in these first 2 games off their bench. But Scoot Henderson has really struggled so far. And in Game 2, he fouled out in the third quarter. So that is not going to be good when their best player is off the floor. We had 50 free throws, and it's 94%. And once again, they never led. They have yet to have a lead in this series through the first 2 games. That is insane. What about Game 3, the first road game for the Aztecs here in this second round series? After one, we lead at 35-29. Bit of a closer game, but a good second quarter. Portland making a run to close the half. And we got a really tight game here. They have their first lead now in the series, but we're still sticking around. giving ourselves a good chance to still come out on top here on the road. But Portland builds on their lead a little bit. Fourth quarter going their way. And they're going to take us down here in this one. 132-118. It's been nothing but double-digit wins for the first 3 games for the victor. 22 for Bronny, 21 for Leonard Dennis. Scoot played way better, but still fouled out relatively early. But a lot of scoring for the playoffs' top offense. 25 and 16 for Moore, 21 for Dennis and Dylan Young. We had pretty good offense, but just a couple of shots not falling, and defense not playing as good as they were in the first 2 games. And now Dylan Young has a broken left finger. How is this going to affect him? So now Cobb, a bit banged up. Dylan Young banged up. And he's losing quite a bit of offense here. So we're probably going to have to start somebody else in his place at forward. And I think maybe it's time for us to start Jalen Williams and hope that he gets the ball more and shoots the ball better than he has so far in this playoff run. Because he has still only shot 36% to Young's 47. This is like one of the worst injuries that we could have besides Moore or Dennis going down. Is having one of your most efficient players go down here in the playoffs. Maybe we bring in McDaniels instead. He shot the ball very well this past year when he played, but did not have a high volume. Or does Gary Trent get some play time here after shooting 42% in the regular season? I think I actually kind of prefer this over J-Dub until he figures things out. But we can't really bench Young fully. Let's give it one game and see where it goes. So, on the road here again in Game 4, Portland gets off to a hot start. They lead it through 34-28. Second quarter, back and forth scoring. Third quarter, Aztecs trying to work their way towards a lead, but then a nice run in the midst of this third quarter by Portland to increase their lead entering the fourth. And we're kind of falling behind here, and they're going to win another game, it looks like, on their home court. No, we just came back and won. I should have jumped in late. We just outscored them 38-24 to close the game. I was going and simming too fast, but we steal one here on the road. A nail biter. That is completely my fault. And here's the game log. I just want to see kind of how the game finished here. So Portland led 123-117 after a couple of free throws from Mullen. So a 6-point lead with under 2 to go. Timeout by Portland. Corey Jack with a layup that is missed. And then an offensive board by Henderson. But then he turns the ball over to Sundin. And then Kylan Moore draws a foul on a dunk attempt. Hits 2 free throws, giving him just shy of 40 points. Bronny James has a jump shot blocked by Cobb. And then on the other end, David Dennis nails a triple, or misses a triple rather. Bronny gets the rebound. Then he misses 2 straight free throws. It's still a 4-point game. Moore with a missed jump shot, but an Aztecs rebound keeps it on offense. Cobb hits a layup with a 10th assist out of Mullen. So good passing by him. Then a missed dunk by Aiden, rebounded by David Dennis. And then Dennis on the other end hits a jump shot to tie the game at 123. And then Henderson, a missed layup. Moore grabs his 13th board. We call timeout. Bronny fouls Dennis. He hits both, and those 2 shots win the game as Corey Jack misses a 3-point game-winning attempt as time expires. Wow. I would have loved to watch that. That is completely on me. So a 3-1 series lead now. And Scoot had 27. Leonard Dennis had 26. But Aiden here in this game, only 12 points, held in check. Kylan Moore, 39 and 13. And not really shoot the ball very well, but hit his free throws. Dennis, 3 steals. Moore, 3 steals. Cobb, 2 blocks. And 16 points off the bench. Mullen, 10 dimes. And we just got lucky here. We had 40 out of 40 free throws. Absurd. I definitely got to work on the free throw slider for Simi because it's still kind of out of whack. But 3-1 series lead. And I guess we'll see if Game 5 at home ends up being relatively close. We're going to keep Dylan Young in our lineup and see what happens. But first quarter, we close it very strong. Second quarter, Portland closes the gap by 2. Third quarter, back and forth. Portland still in arm's reach. But a good fourth quarter start for the Aztecs. Under 4 to play. Trailblazers trying to close the gap, but they are out of time, and Portland has been eliminated here in 5 games. And that's all she wrote for them. 133-124, your final score. Man, I am seriously regretting not jumping in for that Game 4 finish. But 39 again for Kylan Moore. 14 rebounds, 34 for Mullen. He has really stepped up here in these games. Cobb was played well off the bench. No complaints about that. I think Dylan Young is going to be all right. I think his finger's going to be okay. And now we've got Houston against Memphis. They lead it 3-1. And the Rockets move on after Memphis almost had a reverse sweep go in their favor, but they come out on top. And now we have just an annual matchup, as always, against them in the Western Conference Finals. I think it's our 4th or 5th straight. I think it's our 4th straight time facing them in the Western Conference Finals. They beat us a year ago to move on to the finals, which they would end up winning for the first time this series. And now it's time for us to return the favor next episode. And if these games are close, I'll try and get multiple episodes up in 1 week's time. But bit of a quicker episode here. Again, I'm sorry I missed that Game 4 finish, but you know, sometimes you just make a mistake. And let's check some stats for that last playoff rounds. The quarterfinals. Kylan Moore averaged 34 and 15. Shot 51%. 37 from downtown. Mullen was awesome. Filled that John Cobb role pretty damn well. 24, 4 and 5. Shot 40% from downtown. And 48 from the fields. Cobb was very good. Maybe he's in line to come back into our lineup because he has worked his way back. He's not losing as much attributes as he was earlier. You can see here that his overall has gone up to 94. And for speed, it's only down by 8 now. Agility down by 5. So I think we probably could be seeing Cobb return to our starting 5. Perhaps for Game 1, because in this series at least, he scored 17 points off the bench, shot over 60% from the field, over 60% from downtown. He was very, very good. Dylan Young was not that good. Also nursing the injury. Pochefino, not shooting very well. Mobley was bad. But J-Dub at least shot better than he had in the first round. Sundin was pretty solid. So I think we're going to be seeing Cobb return to our lineup. But Mullen's going to have a major roll off our bench if he does come off our bench, because his scoring cannot be forgotten. He made some good defensive plays too, to my surprise. So think we are nearly back to full. Should probably reach full health in the middle of this series if it goes beyond 4 games, which it probably will, given how these matchups have gone in years past. But as a little preview of this little matchup, let's go take a look at the scouting department and see what they say about this. No weaknesses for either team. Why is it showing the Trailblazers? Show us the Rockets, please. The Rockets, no weaknesses for either team, only strengths. Matchup reports, they've got all A pluses, but they do say that we are the spread consensus pick. And don't forget that we had the same record as them in the regular season, but they won the last matchup against us by 2 points, and that was the deciding factor essentially in the seeding. So they will have home court advantage in this Western Conference Finals, and it's going to be a true test for us to hopefully win some road games here against these guys. But these guys are very, very good, as they are every single season. And we'll see how this rivalry progresses again, because this has been a matchup almost every year the last 4 seasons or the last 5 seasons. So we're in store for another high-octane thriller probably of a series. And we'll see where it goes next time, guys. I will see y'all there. Thanks for tuning in. I'll try and get that one up, or at least the first episode of this new series, up pretty fast. And we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and leave your feedback down below. And I'll see y'all next time. Take care. Have a great day.